Hello, lovely beings. Today I'm going to talk to you about one of the most powerful things that you can understand to get through literally any situation. I've applied this to trauma. I've applied this to the different things that have happened in my life. So the physical abuse, the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse, the spiritual abuse, and then all of the different, I wouldn't say complications, but all of these different challenges that have came up in my life. This is the one thing that has got me through, and probably one of the most important things that has helped me heal from narcissistic abuse, that has helped me heal from trauma, and that's really made a very significant difference within my life. I've been doing podcasts and I've been sharing a little bit more about my story lately, and that has kind of opened me up to, just sharing a little bit more authentic and a little bit more vulnerable about the things that have actually worked for me, and also why I'm so interested in mindset and why I'm so interested in nervous system regulation and energy work and healing trauma. It's not because of a philosophy that I just think is interesting or like, this is interesting. It's because I've literally had to learn and apply the things that I talk about and the things that I love to overcome things that have happened in my life and seek out solutions and answers to things that have came up that I have had to just work through. I've spent probably 97% of my resources into finding these solutions and getting access to this information and applying it and then seeing the result. And then it comes from actually experiencing the result and saying, I really want to help other people with this. So that's kind of where this comes from and why I'm so passionate about it. Sometimes just talking about it without the underlying, this is why this is so important, because I've actually had to apply this and I see the result from it and it completely transforms the way that you perceive reality. I think that that's also really important as well. So that being said, the thing that has been completely game changer within my life is understanding that events inherently don't have meaning until the observer, until the subjective person places a meaning over it. And so that is completely within our control as a human with a human mind, that they can choose the meaning associated with the things that have happened. That has completely transformed the way that I perceive the trauma that I've experienced. And I also just wanted to add that this is not an intellectual thing. It's not like, I see the benefit in that. I know the benefit in that. I am truly grateful for everything that has happened because it has led me up to this point, rather than, I guess I can see that. I guess it does. It's like a true inner knowing that I am so freaking grateful and I know that I'm guided, and having faith in that this happened for a reason. I'll just give you an experience of this. This weekend I was doing a breath work and it was like a holographic, I'm not saying this right. A holographic? No. It was some sort of breath work. I can link it below because the person who actually designed this, and he has a free session that he gives to people, but essentially it's an hour-long breath work, and it wasn't actually with this guy, it was at an event that I did, but it's an hour-long breath work and mixed with music. And so you're doing this breath for the time, and then basically what happens is that the gate between your conscious mind and your subconscious, so the analytical mind that's separating that, kind of opens up, and there's a door into your subconscious mind, which is 95 to 99% of who you are, who you believe that you are. And then you can start to go into the hardware and start reprogramming it, but also accessing memories and accessing emotions that are stored down there. And so basically during this breath work, I had this experience where I went back into some of the trauma that I'd experienced, but I perceived it so differently. And I've had this for a while, that I've looked back and, just being so grateful for that, because it led me on this really amazing journey, and it led me to just see the world completely different and to understand who I am and to actually, put me onto my purpose and to show up and to serve people. But I looked back, and these weren't new memories that had came up, but they're ones that I knew of. And I just heard or had this knowingness that this was guided, this was meant to happen, that everything that you've experienced, all the pain, all of the hardships, I really don't like that word, but hardships, was actually for a reason. And it was this inner knowingness and this sense of gratitude that just came over my body, like, oh my gosh, thank you. This was happening for a reason. And I could see it in a different perspective. I could see it in a different perception. So in a different way of, this is so bad. I cannot believe this happened. This should never have happened to me. He should have never done this. All of those different things, because if you're coming from that mindset, it is true. Like, I don't wish what happened to me and to so many other people on anyone. But when you're coming from the mindset of this blaming and this should have never happened to me, you're coming from a victim mindset. And when you're in a victim mindset, your consciousness is a little bit lower, right? Like you need to get over that victim state to elevate to a higher consciousness. So basically what I had to do, and this was incremental, of processing that trauma, of, going back and doing the energy work, but it's looking at it from a completely different mindset and a completely different awareness of, I'm so grateful that this happened, and looking at it with a sense of love and gratitude, because it's the meaning that we're giving to things that's going to guide our lives. Nothing has meaning until we place a meaning over it. So you can place any meaning that you want over it, but that is your choice. That's your decision. And again, this isn't just an intellectual thing. This is a deeply embodied state where you can truly see that everything has happened to serve you, that everything is an opportunity. And essentially it is a choice. Again, things that have happened that is not morally correct. But the thing is that it happened. Like, objectively, we can't change that. What we can change is the perspective and the perception and the meaning that we're given to that experience. And that is going to dictate the filter that you have over reality. Because if you're carrying on a filter of this victimhood, of, this hatred and all of these different emotions that you carry literally within your system, that's going to be projected out into your external reality. So you need to do the internal work to clear those things and then change the meaning associated with the things that you are hanging on to that are putting you into a lower vibration. And so, I just thought I'd share this idea about perception and perspective is just so important. And it's the thing that has helped me so much going through this and going through narcissistic abuse. It's deciding the meaning that I'm going to give to the things that have happened. And also the mind wants to understand what's going on, like understand all of the little pieces. And I think the power behind this is deciding, well, I can decide what all of this means. I don't have to try and figure it out and find out what they're thinking. I have the power to decide the meaning that I want to place over the experience that happened, that is actually going to serve me and that's actually going to empower me, rather than have it dictated from a lower level of consciousness and or have it dictated from the outside world projecting that on you. So I just thought I'd share again the power of perception, the power of perspective, and also just reiterate the point that the things that are happening don't actually have any meaning. It's the person, it's the subjective perception, it's the subjective meaning that the individual is placing over the experience that gives it meaning, which gives it the emotion, which gives it the power. I really hope this is helpful, and I love you all.